Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The campaign is Horror on the Orient Express. It's available from Chaosium. I am the Keeper of the Secrets, and this is episode 39. Our recap will be given by Stuart Lively as his character, Thurston Thursby III. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Stu?
Thanks, Tom. The fez-capped man watching us in the hotel lobby left in a hurry. We could not catch up to see where he went. Our group went on a tour shortly thereafter, the famous cave system, but found no discernible clues there. Swinging by the library to do some additional research, we ran into our friend with no arms and tongue. He led us to his abode, where he showed us some of his journal, that of Helmut Grossinger. It mentions a cult that is much older, perhaps from the Roman era, creatures from Andromeda's galaxy, human fish creatures even, and something about a windwalker, a Thakua, whatever, something like that. The poor crazed man seemed that he wanted us to destroy something, motioning to us continually in a northeasterly direction. Mussolini's black shirts showed up not far away and disrupted our meeting. We fled to safety. On our way out, we spotted our red-haired man and followed him. He was abducted, possibly by two Turkish men in a black sedan. We're not sure where he was taken to. Heading back to the library, we discovered the man with no arms and tongue, helmet perhaps, turned up there around 3 years ago. With the library closing shortly, we headed back to the hotel to find the power to the entire area had been cut due to extremely bad weather. An errand boy returned to us package there, the diary and translation, but not completed, as the translator deemed it too horrific to keep translating. The translation went on about a god in an Arctic prison, horrible dreams, visions of terrible masks, a need to deliver a medallion. Winckelmann met this fellow named Arcangeli. Later, Winckelmann turned his trust quite a bit. Winckelmann noted searching for some sort of secret lair. Creature-like entities were demanding of him. Adelsberg Caverns seems to be a key location. Later at dinner at the hotel, we all have odd forms of food poisoning, almost hallucinations. Heading back to our room to retire for the evening, we are confronted by what seemed to be the ghost of Winckelmann. The ghost freezes an almost Romanesque image of a smiling mask on our window, and after much terrifying, frantic commotion, chaos, possessed me to write down on paper Marco Polo. Not sure what that means. What does this mean? Where is that medallion? Who was Winckelmann delivering it to?
All right. So the date, as we have established it, is still Tuesday, the 23rd of January. You've had a very strange vision of something that the ghost is apparently trying to show you or tell you or convey to you. You did yourself a little, bit of a seance and wrote the odd words Marco Polo, who's a Venetian, not as far as you know, he's never came to this area. What would you like to do? I believe it's evening. Yeah, it's late evening, isn't it?
I need a drink after being possessed and right. Wow.
Okay.
Is the image still on the window?
No,
the faces
melted.
Not melted. Okay.
Yeah. As did the icicles hanging from the lamp.
Yeah, dang. Get a picture of it, but
In the silence, the only thing you can hear outside is the Bora still blowing.
mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, so Theodore, you're going to go out and go downstairs.
Yeah. Or is it the next morning? Did we
It's
got
really early, I think, in the
yeah.
morning.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be open. I'll just go to the bar in the room. And,
Okay. Yeah, you get some in the room. Yeah, I'd say this all happened. You went up to your rooms in the evening, so it's probably just after midnight, maybe we'll say.
Yeah, we had to leave dinner early because of the disturbances. And then we had quite a few events inside the central room. Also, it's dark and we have, so I don't imagine anyone wants to stay up into the wee hours considering the nightmares that we're aware of.
No.
But we ends with a somewhat uncertain debate about what the Marco Polo means. And Neruda had found that there's a museum that has a
open air
painting of Marco Polo with a medallion, which, the combination of two things that Winkelmann reached out to us, or perhaps the good thing is we'll know that three-headed image if we see it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the same image that turned up. You were mentioning Gunther at dinner when you accidentally spilled the wine.
Yeah,
so that's too coincidental. Obviously, this is connected. What on earth was driving us to all hallucinate so much at dinner? I'm very concerned about that.
Hallucination's an interesting word to use, Theo.
Yeah, I think the table really
would
lifted.
describe what happened to us in our rooms as a hallucination?
I only mention a hallucination at the dinner table because we saw one thing, and then when the waiter came up to see what was going on, when we looked back, our meals appeared to be absolutely fine. Everything seemed to be fine. Just a blink of an eye later. So
it's true. It was a haunting that was very specific to us. The other patrons noticed when I was compelled to stand up and shake the blade in the air, but they didn't notice that our table could levitate or that our chicken was squirming. It was directed very specifically to us.
I'm hoping that was Winkleman trying to get through to us and not something else.
It seems consistent, especially because when you were shoved on the stairs, he said the word diary to you, journal.
Yeah.
And then he continued to rail on about that. It's odd what this entity is capable of communicating and what not. Who knows what the rules are for some?
He seemed to react very aggressively, very agitated when we mentioned his traitorous acquaintance.
Yeah. Yes, we don't say the A word around this ghost anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Only mention Mr. A when the diary is in another room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you said there's a painting of Marco Polo with a pendant at a museum?
No, there's the Giardino Lapidario. That is an open-air museum in a disused burial ground that holds all manner of Roman antiquities, including a medallion portrait.
That's
in 1832.
That was where you saw Winkleman's epitaph.
Oh, that's where that
outside in the stone garden.
How far away is the Adelsberg Caverns?
50 miles.
That's not too far. I mean, that's we could get a car for that.
Yeah, I'm convinced, though, we wish to have the medallion on hand when we go there. That's where Winkelmann was trying to take it to resolve his situation.
I'd like to know a little more about it. It sounded really creepy, like what was being insinuated in that diary about what is there. I mean, Winkleman almost doesn't even seem to be fully in his right mind. Do we really want to just follow his lead blindly?
Well, I mean, what else do we have? I mean, we were told to search him out by Smythe, and Winkleman's reached out to us. I mean,
I'm just saying that there's some pretty creepy, extraordinary things happening here, and I don't know how much Smythe knew. Like how, I mean, I don't know, to just blindly trust and follow a dead man, a ghost, off of a lead from Professor Smythe, who knows a little bit of him, but I don't know. It would be comforting to have a little more information.
Well, we know that the cult that is at Postuma collects rare magical artifacts.
And we are on the
that
trail
are
of those.
Winkleman, who has some sort of medallion of magical capacity and possibly a piece of the simulacrum. That means that in those caves around Postuma, we may find a piece.
yeah.
We can't leave that possibility unexplored.
Agreed.
Trust, it just doesn't really strike me as trusting Winkleman in a sense. I mean, I guess we have to believe his account of his own personal journal that he wrote in ancient Greek, so to make it difficult for other people to read. I don't think he was trying to. I don't think Winkleman, who wrote that down, was trying to deceive anyone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, and he had begun to distrust that fellow Mr. A, and hid something from him, and then was murdered by him.
Yeah, Winkleman, he hid that when he was in Trieste, the medallion.
Yeah,
right? That seems like.
Yeah, we want to find that in town before we go out to Adelsburg, and
because we'll need it if his records are to be believed. We need the medallion to actually approach whatever's in the cave.
Yeah. So, Adelsburg Caves, final destination of this. So, where on earth is that medallion in Trieste?
I mean, to be fair, when we sought out the Winkelberg monument, we didn't look at much else. We were sort of single-minded. So if we begin there, and the Marco Polo object is not of interest, so then we maybe ask people at the museum, is there anything else about Marco Polo in Trieste? Because a friend of ours mentioned something in passing we don't remember very good. So if there's a statue at a plaza that we haven't known about, then we can be told. We know what we are visually seeking, we just don't know where to seek it.
Yeah.
Now, do we think if we see the red-haired man again, we want to approach him? Because perhaps if we have the same enemy, he is an ally?
Well, he was roughed up pretty bad by his captors before he was thrown in the car and driven away. I don't know.
He seemed to be literally following our tracks when he was captured.
Yeah.
And rather unerringly. I don't know. I mean, he can't have been looking for Grossinger, the mutilated man, because he is easy to find. He has the same habits. And of course, we have to keep out our eye for the watcher in the lobby, the fake reader of newspapers.
Yeah.
But they attacked.
The watcher... Oh, go ahead.
It's interesting that one, we believe, Turk in a fez wanted to watch us in the lobby. We think us.
Yeah.
Whereas the red-haired man, they just ran up and grabbed him.
Yeah.
And,
But those two Turks did not have fezzes, so we are assuming they are Turks.
Yeah.
But
Rough appearances only.
yeah.
Similarity in, beard and hair.
A good assumption, hopefully.
And skin complexion too. So
yeah, most likely, like a high percentage chance.
Well, I propose that we get a good night's rest. I mean, no matter what we're doing tomorrow, we need to have our wits about us, and being up all night discussing this is going to make it tough.
Yeah. And we need to take good care of the of Winkleman's diary so we can make sure we return that. That's of value.
Also, we want to get into that house again. I wonder if they have wine cellar or something deeper beneath that house, which is where the artifacts we saw gets that interesting patina.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we do return, just remember that, he was concealing something.
That's the impressions that I had, yeah. The ideas that the battalion is in that home is certainly within the realm of possibility.
And not only, we certainly shouldn't take him up on any offers to investigate a cask of Amontillado in the family crypt, but he also, his missing arm, there's something.
Yeah, you saw something disturbing there. And although we have some reason to be concerned about damage to our own wits from all this, it was also, I think, would be foolish for us to ignore any inclinations we have of that kind. We know that the world is not what it seems.
What do you think about? What? Oh, I'm supposed to go for it.
We are simultaneous always. I'm thinking, in first thing in the morning, we send a note to the household and tell them that we have only a partial translation of the diary and wish to return it to their care. And that will give us an excuse to go back to the house, and maybe we find a way to poke around a little bit. Not with that butler watching us.
How many pages are left in the diary that are untranslated?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit, okay.
It would take weeks to get them translated.
Yeah, we had
thinking more of taking pictures of the pages. That way we don't lose access to it if we do return the diary.
Oh, that's very slow.
A wise preparation there.
You end up with a roll of film, but it would take a while to get that developed.
Yeah, but
you'd have to kind of set it up in the right conditions, because the quality of pictures back then isn't exactly crystal clear.
Yeah. I got pretty good photography skill though, so
yeah, we can take some time with it. It's even possible we could speak to someone at a university or the like that would wish to have it preserved as well, although I don't know what the family would think of that. But they would have the capacity to make very good reproductions. So maybe we bundle up good and we sleep the ghost off. Gunther, should you or I consider the possibility of holding the Tagebuch on our person or in the bed with us in case Winkelmann can be more direct when we are sleeping?
Perhaps you. I worry that my connection to this torso might block.
Yeah, you already have one bedmate to worry about.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has two, doesn't he?
Well, the leg,
Well-
but I mean, it's just one person.
Yeah, we have to divvy up the pieces. We have to think about this as we travel. Oh yeah, so I'll have also with you. I will also have with you Theo brandy to help with the sleep, and then in the morning we will write the Tremona family, tell them that we will attend the piece. Do we wish to give them any of the translation? They
I'm
put
sure
us,
you'll ask.
yeah, they put
Yeah.
us under the translator, so we can't really lie and say he refused to do anything.
Yeah, but we could just tell him that it was banal diary entries about his research into his boring
Well, we
subjects and things like
could.
that. What was Winkleman into? Was it art?
Yeah, art history
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
ancient bits and bobs.
We could
Again, he
also
hadn't.
withhold some of the pages.
Or just like give him a
If
different
we say the
book.
translation is incomplete, we don't have to say how incomplete. And we just give up to the point before it starts getting into the really esoteric.
Yeah.
If we have concern, and I do, that the Tamona family might not be entirely friendly, or at least what they seem, we probably don't want to give them the same information we have and have a race off to Adelsburg. They might
Definitely
know
not.
where the Marco Polo is right away,
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, so maybe we make a little alternate translation. We keep the same first page of frustration about how gross it is, and then we make up some bit of nonsense
Yep.
to hand over. And then if they ask the translator, he'll be like, "Never talk to me about that vile object."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though the translator is friends with the owner of the church.
Yeah, but by then we'll be gone. Another city burned down behind us.
If we don't give them any important information, then we don't have to worry about them getting on us too quickly, I think.
Yeah.
Do you think we can ask for a tour of the house? Is there an excuse we have for this? You have so many other interesting antiquities.
Mhm.
This region has such interesting geologic formations. Maybe you have a weird sub-basement with a Marco Polo in it. Maybe there's a cave tunnel that goes all the way to the alien creatures 50 miles away at Postumia. It's the creepiest town name there is.
Well, we could come up with something just to get a little more of a sneak peek in there.
Yeah, well, somebody else be an expert liar. It's the Ruder and I have the job of being dream lawyers. You guys have also have to take
Mhm.
specialties.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget, last time I tried to lie to someone, I basically made good.
Not him. Yes.
We have. Is there something else to consider? You said Roland. He might know where the Marco Polo is. I'm pretty sure, thinking about it, that he knows of the cave and the things therein. He has antiquities that bear the signs of being in a cave, and we have no indication that this cult does not still extant.
Yeah. Yeah, if they don't have a very special wine cellar under
It's
the house,
also
maybe
telling. Why did the family have such an interest in purchasing every single scrap of information from this man, everything that he ever owned? or everything that they had here. His
Do you
ancestor purchased all of that, and they've kept it in the family all this time.
Yeah. Do you think perhaps Herr Signore Termona himself speaks perfectly good ancient Greek, and that's why he's never asked it for it to be translated?
It could
Maybe
be
he-
he already knows what it has to say.
Maybe he's known all along.
He already knew why Winkleman was in Trieste to begin with.
So does this mean we wish to avoid the Termona family?
Because the Tremonas were in the area when Winkleman was killed, while this other representative of the cult was, this Mr. A was dealing with Winkleman. Who's to, perhaps the Tremonas, were connected all the way back then, and to this day are still.
But this does not really explain why they give us the diary to translate, or even if they know he won't translate much of it, it's damning what we have. Why would he just say, oh, the family lost that 16 generations ago? I have no idea it's in a box somewhere and that sank on my father's ship or burned in a shed, or unless they want us to help them find the thing. Like the Hawk monk wanted help finding the armor in the first place.
Or they don't know what it is that we're really interested in.
Maybe
They may know
about
of the place, but they don't necessarily know everything that's down there.
Maybe they want to compromise us because they want more of the pieces of the simulacrum. That would be very bad. And we need to get whatever piece the creatures in the caves or their followers have control of. So we focus on Termona, no?
I think so.
That's what
I
this
think so.
discussion
Good.
suggests.
Mhm.
Well, it's about the translation. Do we lie about it, or
I think we
If we-
still do. Yeah. I mean, we just don't tell the whole truth.
Yeah, just
Misdirection. Misdirection is, people
That's
will
your-
believe what they want to see.
strike.
Let me look at this diary again.
So as you guys are having this discussion, are you going to wind down and go to bed? You guys are all pretty tired.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Some of you have been experiencing general fatigue today anyway because you didn't sleep well last night.
No.
Hopefully you'll sleep well this night.
I take very poorly to having been physically possessed by something. I do find that very disagreeable.
Go to sleep.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody roll your POW roll.
Oh,
All right. First roll of the night.
99.
47.
One less than you, 98.
Can somebody get one more? Can we get one more?
Yeah.
I have only 79 for you, also a failure.
So failed
Okay.
85.
Oh, wow. We're firing on all cylinders.
47. Got a pass.
Wait, okay, everybody else failed, but Stu passed. Something is definitely
Something's
wrong here.
I would like those of you who failed to do a 1d8 and take that away from your magic points.
Ooh,
Six.
7.
Yeah, you are extremely fatigued when you wake up in the morning. You feel
Yeah,
achy.
I got 8.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
6.
Oh.
Ouch.
7. We all got hit pretty good there.
Mm.
Yeah, you can feel it in your bones, like arthritis. The cold is not helping, or rheumatism,
Mm.
which does not. It will not make it really much easier today. You can
No.
anything that you have to do physically, you might any roll you have to make for physical, you might take a penalty dice.
Okay.
And I'd say that Dabrowski and Gunter especially have a lot of extra pain just because of the other thing that's influencing you.
Yeah.
And I assume that the journal did not reach out to me during the night.
It didn't.
It didn't also freeze me to death in my bed, so
Correct.
There you go.
I have no magic points now.
Ouch.
But you do get them back at 1 an hour. So
Yeah. I know. While I'm sleeping.
You'll have a little bit of steam in the afternoon when you start to gain them back.
But
Yeah.
I briefly went to 0.
But good old Thurston Thursby comes down to breakfast all bright and ready to go, and you guys all look like you've been warmed over.
Oh gosh. I need to switch sides with the torso.
The waiter comes over. Gentlemen, good morning. How are we all doing today?
I'm gonna need some strong coffee this morning.
yeah, let's have 2 carafes for the table to start.
Well, you did not sleep well.
Oh, the wind was blowing, and yeah.
He brings the coffee. He says, the doctors here have told us all that it has to do with the Bora. That it's quite common. Everyone in Trieste suffers from it for a while, and eventually you kind of get used to it. But they say there's no cure. I heard one doctor say something about static electricity in the air or something that causes a great deal of fatigue.
Yeah.
But we are used to it. It's not that unusual. We're sorry that it's happening while you're visiting us.
Oh, it's not your fault.
How's the progress with the electricity?
It should be restored shortly. They've removed the tree this morning and begun working on the wires, so it should be up and running by this afternoon.
That's very good.
We are sorry for the inconvenience.
The candlelight was very lovely.
Do you have any plans for today?
We have some visits to make. I wonder. We know that that the explorer Marco Polo is Venetian, but did he ever visit Trieste at some point during his wanderings?
I don't really know that much about the history, but I've never heard of anything like that here.
There's not a statue to him in a plaza or something.
Not that I know of. There might be, some of the streets are named for famous people.
Oh.
But you don't know how Marco Polo.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I was about to ask. Oh, I said what I want.
I heard 3 people talking, so I didn't hear.
Is there a Marco Polo street?
I could look for you, sir.
Please do.
Thank you.
So he goes away for a bit. You guys are served your breakfast and you're eating. And after 20 minutes or so, he comes back and he says, there is a Via Marco Polo.
Oh, wow.
It's a small, not a huge popular street, but yes, there is a Via Marco Polo. And he brings you like a hotel, brochure map of the city and points out where it is. It would be, a ways. It's not right in the heart of the city, and it's not in a well-built up area. Looks like there's a lot of older supermarkets and things like that in that area. Residential all around it.
Yeah.
I think we'll bundle up and have a walk over there, yeah? Just in case.
I think that's an excellent idea.
And this way we can give the Timona family, we don't want to drop in on them. We want to send them a note first before we go.
Okay.
All right.
More coffee first.
So you finish up your breakfast, and I would like you all to do spot hidden rolls.
Wow, I'm on fire. 19.
84.
Regular.
56.
I
As
failed.
you
Hard spot.
those of you who passed, as you are exiting the small cafe at the bottom of the hotel, something out of the corner of your eye, so it sort of catches your eye, and you glance up. There's kind of a first floor balcony that overhangs the lobby area, and dressed in a fairly good-looking business suit is a man with a large beard and darker complexion. Not dissimilar to the man who was sitting in the lobby yesterday, although this guy's not wearing a fez. But he does seem to be at an vantage point where he can observe.
And we get the impression that maybe his eyes are following us as we walk across the lobby.
You get more the impression that he's pretending not to look at you when you glance up in his area.
Oh, I see. Our tale for today has arrived.
Maybe they realized after we made the other man that they should try without the blood red hat. So I guess we check for a message from Smythe. Maybe send him a quick telegram hello. We send a note with a boy from the hotel to the Termonas asking if 2 o'clock is a good time to visit and return the diary. You like 2? What do you think?
This doesn't. We should be very precise. I want to look at the Orient Express schedule real quick to see.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
It looks like trains depart Trieste at 9:59 p.m., 5:59 a.m., 1:59 p.m. So if we go at 2 o'clock, the soonest we could get out of here at 2:59.
You do also notice
it's at 9:59 p.m.
You do also notice that they stop in Postumia.
Yes.
So maybe we want to ask if they are available in the late afternoon.
Yeah, maybe make it just a little bit before dinner time, which is late here.
Are we so confident then that we will have the medallions that we can tell the hotel to move our things to the train for the 10 o'clock?
I think we'll know after we visit Marco Polo Street.
Or after we visit the Timonas.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe we should have our luggage moved to the train anyway, and if we don't leave, we can just have it moved to a different hotel. This one seems to have
an infestation,
unwanted,
I would say.
Yes.
It's a very good point, yeah.
All right.
Although it does mean that the parts of the simulacrum will be out of our control for several hours.
I don't like that. If they are onto us to the point where they have tails showing up in the lobby looking at us, then what's to say they're not gonna go search through our rooms the second we leave? So that's almost a guarantee to happen.
Well, we can't take them with us.
No.
Yeah. No. We usually, though, we take them to and from the train. We have some eyes on them. We have left things in the hotel rooms before, and it's been all they have done is move themselves. Yeah, okay. So we choose a cafe 5 blocks away to meet at, and then we go out 5 different directions so that our olive-skinned friend can't follow us all, and we take a little effort to lose him. We meet up this cafe, and then we go to the Via Marco Polo.
Good plan. I'll go northeast.
Well, I know we're doing all this planning, but I think it would also be better to look into Timona a bit more. As we think about it, he has artifacts from the caves. Could he be involved with the cult somehow?
That's what I
Yes.
asserted.
This is why Naruto wants to get out of town as soon as we see him.
I just think we go in. We just go to Timona. Speak, try and get a bit more into it. Investigate.
Well, I want to visit. I want to see. Again, I'm making sure that we're not being overheard by interested parties.
Yeah.
Until we go and visit, Marco Polo Street, which I'm sure is where the ghost is trying to lead us. I want to do that first.
And we wish not to tell Timona that we are hostile any more than he thinks. And you don't barge into a family's home.
No, I'm not saying we barge in, but it is better to have a look around there. But I do agree, Marco Polo Street is the first, but you
just think we need more time with Timona, so it's better to meet earlier?
Yes, I think we need more time.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, just for everything strange we know about him anyway, with what Gabriel's seen and has deduced.
Yeah,
Right.
I think we don't want to pack our bags and have him take to the train station before lunch and then meet him at 5. If we have a conflict with the Timonas, then we might have to wait for a later train. We don't know yet. So we'll send them a note. I assume there's nothing from Smythe at the telegram of the post restant.
Well, you're going to travel there to check the post office. Yeah, there's not.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I sent him a toodaloo from Trieste. Or do we have a name to send him?
You have no place to send him.
Right,
so
right. We know.
No,
he doesn't.
No idea where he is. Okay. All right. So you're going to do a Via Marco Polo first.
Yes.
After we try to lose our friend.
Okay. So you leave the hotel, and as you move towards the exit, you see that the fellow is making his way towards the stairs to come down, behind you, trying to look casual. You step out into the cold air. The Bora is blowing, but it's not as horrible as it is usually at night. It's much stronger. So you guys are all bundled up. Do spot hidden. Are you all splitting up in different directions? Are any of you going by yourself with another person? How are you splitting up?
I mean, given what happens to the red-haired fellow, I think going alone is a dicey proposition. So perhaps I'll go with Roland.
Well, we'll say that you might change your mind just as you go out of the hotel, because there's 2 things. Go ahead and roll spot hiddens for me.
No.
41 is a success.
04. I see all and know all.
Okay. You notice that the block, let's say to the left, if you were going to go that direction, that on that corner up against the building is another Turkish looking fellow. Smoking a cigarette, looking like he's just smoking a cigarette, The other direction, though, this is what puzzles Dr. Kurz. There are a couple of gentlemen across the street. One of them looks like a Turk. We'll just say Turk. No offense to the Turkish people, but he looks suspicious. Next to him is a red-headed man, but his physical build isn't the same as the red-headed man you saw yesterday, but the face looks remarkably like the man you saw yesterday. Maybe a very close relative, a brother.
This red-headed man also has a stripe of black in his hair.
He does.
Yeah. Okay.
Face is the same. Body is quite a bit different.
Oh, this is reminding
given what happened to Katerina Cavallaro,
yep,
in association with this fine organization.
Yeah, we need to
well, let's just all get a cab together.
Yeah, let's get a cab to a public place and start over. We look at the cab driver before we get in.
Sure. Yeah.
The
cab driver is German or Italian.
Yeah, with so many right here, I really don't feel good about leaving the pieces of the simulacron.
No, we can't. We have to leave them there, Theo.
There's
no way we can take them with us.
I know that. I know. I'm just saying.
If you want to go upstairs and sit there with an elephant gun and hope for the best,
you're welcome. You're welcome to gather them all together and sit on them like you're a mother hen and they're your eggs.
Okay,
if you so choose.
Better judgment, I will leave these in our very well secured room.
That's right.
And we determine there's a cab that's big enough for the five of us.
Sure.
Yeah. We tell him the name of a cafe we have been to that's a little bit of ways away, so we have a tiny lead on our followers.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I ask of you this. What piece of Eastern European headwear is red with one black stripe, like the hair of these different men with the same face?
The fez. I mean, that's the answer. Is a fez.
Now, you got a really good roll. So the redhead is definitely Caucasian. At least his face is.
So first, when I see the red hair with the black stripe, I think, oh, it was very interesting. But now I've seen the same face on two different bodies with the same hair, and I don't think that we maybe are even talking about something entirely human. Maybe the one we saw bundled into the car was a failure, and that is why they roughed him up and dumped him in the car and fed him another body. He likes to stand around smoking, looking casual. But I don't.
You guys are having this conversation in the car, I suppose.
Yeah, we figured out what language was the main one of the driver, and we are trying to be sneaky about the crazy thing we are saying.
Yeah.
So, let's assume that you've picked a cafe that you've been to that is not too far from via Marco Polo.
Okay.
Okay. So you get there. As your car pulls away and kind of gets to the corner to make a turn, you can see that a couple of those men way back there are moving in a particular direction. They're moving kind of in the direction that they did when you tried to follow the one guy. Moving swiftly, but it'll take them, if they've got a car around the corner or someplace there, it's going to take them a bit to get to it with the Bora. So you've got a good lead on them.
Yeah, and we watch for a black sedan.
And they don't know where you're going.
Out of the sea of black sedans.
Yeah, we watch for the we watch for a black sedan with a little flag on it. It's got
Why is every single car the same color? It's like we're in the 1920s, damn it.
So you get to this little cafe and you pay your cab driver and he drives away. I assume that you're not going into the cafe. That wasn't your intention anyway, correct?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I don't think we have time for an espresso because they might have an idea which direction the cab went.
Yeah.
So we pull out our tourist map and hustle ourselves toward Via Marco Polo.
Mhm.
All right.
And see if there's like a alleyway or something we could duck in that instead of walking on the sidewalk streets.
Sure. There's probably lots and lots of them. So
Yeah, the nice
to
thing
stay
about
away
old
from the main
cities.
road, it's not that hard.
Okay.
All right. So you were walking. You eventually exit an alleyway onto Via Marco Polo. And you begin. It's a small street. As I say, there might have been markets and things like that were along here. Some of them are still active and open. Some of them are rundown buildings. And as you are walking along, I don't think it's going to take any kind of roll to get this. You're looking at the buildings, at the architecture. Some of them look pretty old. Some of them look like, what would you say? They're reproductions so that they look old, but they're not really that old.
Yeah.
You eventually get into kind of a little bit of a deserted part of the street. The street winds a little bit as it goes. And there is a two-story, ground floor and one floor up, a building that looks like at some point it might have been an inn. And you almost walk past it because it's obviously not open. It's not in business. But on the lintel above the entrance to the door, you see this.
Let me guess. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's carved. It was painted. The paint's all chipping off of it. It's in pretty bad condition, but it definitely looks like the thing that Winkleman was trying to show you.
Okay.
Interesting. And what type of building is this? Is there a sign? Any signage on the building?
It's closed. There is a sign in the window that who knows your Italian?
I've got to tell.
It says, for inquiries, speak to Signora Luigi. Signora Mordelli. And it gives the next door address. The building looks like it's abandoned. It might have been a pub or an inn at some point, but there is a big gigantic chain and lock on the door. Where you are is not devoid of people. There are people here and there. It's not busy, but it's busy enough.
Yeah, that you can't break in.
Is there a back way in? Like down an alley or something, perhaps?
I mean,
sure. You find an alley, you go to the back. There is a back door. It looks like it's made of metal, like an old steel door. It's newer architecture, but it's obviously locked.
Well, I look the door in.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk to Signor Mordelli? Just, he would love to have someone rent this building.
Hey, he's right next door.
We have ample funds. We don't have to go anywhere. He's not named Termona.
Yeah.
And if we see something promising, we ask to see, we have 5 of us and 1 of him. We say, oh, let's go and look at the the wine cellar, and the rest of us scurry around like rodents. I'm sure he thinks there's nothing of value here. And I'm guessing this is one of the taverns that Winkelmann mentioned, or was associated with the crime, the other murder.
Yeah.
The ones with the Napoleonic soldiers, the lizard.
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, there were a couple of places that were mentioned, and this is probably had, 16 owners since these times.
Yeah. So,
The drunken goat.
The drunken goat and the licking lizard.
Cave.
My Italian's not so great. It was Signora, so it's female.
She.
Signora Mordelli.
Oh, yeah. Push her around even
Even
easier.
better. We did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to go see her?
Yes.
See?
Okay. It's literally right next door and up a couple of stairs. It's like a small apartment. You knock on the door. There's no answer for, 5 minutes. You're almost giving up, and you finally can hear some rather slow steps coming towards the door. The door opens up, and there is a woman. She looks like she is maybe in her 80s. She's dressed rather warmly, even for the inside. And she sees you, and she says, "Can I help you? Are you here to see the building?"
Sì, buongiorno.
Ah, excellent. Give me a moment. I'll get the keys. And she goes back, and after a few minutes, she comes back with the keys. Now she's got a big old, coat on. Yeah. She takes a step onto the porch, and she looks down at the snow and the ice on the ground, and she looks at the wind blowing, and she says, "I trust you." And she hands you the key. She says she gives you the price for the current rental, that the owner is not here right now, but she can contact him if you're interested. She tells you that the building has in fact been, it's a good deal because it's been empty for years. Mind the dust, And
the owner's name?
I don't know. Hold on. Where's my list of?
Oh, okay. I was not Tremona.
Fake name number 12. Yeah,
not Tremona.
Oh,
Nice.
I hate that name.
No.
Signore Micaffiani.
Wait, I want to use my Italian name. Cheap.
Benito.
Italian. Salmoni Castiani.
Oh, that guy.
And the building, you say it has not been used for a while. Like, what does how long of a while? Are we talking like a couple years or a couple decades?
Maybe 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
And then she bundles herself back into the house because it's too damn cold outside.
Yeah.
All right.
Or less ideal. I think actually we should have Dobrowski try to break in after all. It's just
It's our way.
Too simple.
Nobody ever gives us keys.
I mean, I was looking forward to seeing Gunter trying to flirt with yet another.
Oh, yeah.
Another in a long string of disappointment.
Hey, she was 80. That one would have worked. Before we walk out the building, and I'm going to kind of look both ways, make sure that our shadows are not
You don't see anyone, but do a luck roll.
Okay. Oh. Pass.
Good. Otherwise, it would have been black shirts.
Oh, fucking fuck.
So you see some black shirts down there that are kind of being rowdy and heading in this direction, but you have a lot of time so that you can get inside before they show up. All right.
Yeah.
So you turn the lock. It unlocks. It's a fairly newer lock.
Yeah.
And unwrap the chain. And you step inside. Now the windows have been closed. They've got kind of don't break the glass boards on them. So it's fairly dark in here. Did you guys have any source of light? Probably didn't bring a flashlight.
No.
All right. So you've got kind of this dim light. There is light coming through the cracks in the boards. The boards don't look like they're so attached that you couldn't remove one or two of them if you wanted some light in the room.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
There is a lot of dust. You can literally see the beams of light, penetrating into the room. When you step in, you hear a scurrying. There's probably a few rats that you hear running. And what you are looking into is a fairly large area. There are a few pieces of furniture that look like tables and chairs. There's an area that looks like it might have been hold on a second.
I say, Thursby, did you happen to bring the Winkelmann diary with you? I know you like to have it in your coat pocket.
I had it last night, but I didn't mention whether I had it today.
Sorry
I
about
know
that. You
Could I
had a
still-
question, you can still talk.
Yeah.
I was wondering
I'm gonna
whether
cut this out.
Thursby had picked up the Winkelmann diary for our excursion. I guess we
Yeah.
might go straight to Termona, so it
Yeah,
might make
I mean,
sense that you'd be carrying it.
Yeah.
All right. But you don't have a source of light, so you've removed some boards to give yourself some light. So you're looking into here. Looks like it had been like I say, an inn. There's nothing left. There's no bottles. There's no boxes or anything like that. There is a large staircase going up to the next floor. Everything in here may have at one point been painted. The paint is all chipping and falling off, and it would take a great deal of renovation to put it together, which is probably why it hasn't been rented for quite some time.
Any basement? Any staircases going down?
I'm sure if it was a tavern, there's probably a storage room or a basement for
If you walk towards the stairs, towards the back, you can see that there is another door under the stairs that probably, if there's a basement, it would lead to the basement.
Yeah, I think we are in general looking for something that is fairly old and unlikely to move very much. So we're not looking so much for painting on the wall as fixtures.
Yeah, or like brick, loose brick in a wall.
Yeah, I think we should check fireplaces. We should think that if Winkelmann is trying to hide something the size of a large coin, where he will not be seen hiding it or retrieving it, and there is still a chance that it is here. This is why I think of something like a chimney.
There is a fairly large chimney too, covered in cobwebs.
I wish to go upstairs. I think there'll be a little more light through the windows. This is the nice thing about a cold winter, is that piercing sort of blue light.
Okay.
And yeah, give it a search. Anything that might be old enough.
Right. So as you approach the stairs, I would like Roland to do a spot hidden for me.
6 is a regular only.
Okay. As you are, you put your foot onto the bottom stair, you can see that there are a lot of, it's a wooden staircase. There are a lot of little holes in the wood, and it creaks rather badly when you step on the stair.
I almost had you ask Theodore Dabrowski if there was anything dangerous in there the old woman knew about. I will, is the banister fairly solid, or does it shake a lot when I grip it?
There are holes in that too. These are little holes.
Yeah, it's like boring insects, I'm
The
thinking.
worms that burrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know your science, it's probably death watches. Little insects that bore into the wood and eat the wood.
Yes, too far south. The termites, so probably more. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll put some weight on the first step, give it a little bounce, see if it holds.
It holds. The second step holds. The third step, do a dexterity roll.
35 is okay.
Okay. The third step begins to splinter a bit.
Yeah.
And you manage to pull your foot off of it in time to where you don't go through. But it's pretty badly worn. It's split towards the center, so the edges of the stairs might be a little safer.
Usually if nothing else, the board clings to the nail at the edges of things. Maybe, though, we do the ground floor first and spare ourselves the trouble. I think we might need to make a torch or something to look in the cellar.
Well, see if the lights, do the lights work at all? Is there a light switch? Oh.
Lights turned off.
Yeah.
I'll do this. I'll be kind. Do a luck roll, Theodore.
Definitely. Okay. Oh, cool. Thank you for that. Wow, 008 out of 70.
You find an old kerosene lantern behind the bar that still has some kerosene in it. It's dusty, but it might.
Oh, yeah. Here, let's try
Please
this.
Don't burn down the building with the old.
Oh, yeah, nothing can go wrong. Don't worry. I'll roll just fine. Look, it's just like the lantern back at the hotel. It's amazing. This is incredible.
Wow, they must have had a special.
Yeah.
All right. So you are looking around the first floor first?
Yeah, I'll start searching on the bar because, maybe if this was his hideout, sometimes bars will have little things that people have worried away, and you can tuck stuff inside of it, especially older bars. So,
well, it might have been a nice bar at one point, but it's obviously, from the shape, the decor, the way that it's built, and so forth, you'd say it's at least probably 200 or 300 years old. And it's 200 or 300 years old. And if a person were to buy this, they would have to renovate everything.
Yeah,
it's falling apart. Those stairs don't look very safe. They're worm eaten. The ground when you're walking on this floor is creaking, so you know that it's suspended over a basement below.
Right.
Oh yeah, I went down in that basement.
But after searching for 30 minutes, there doesn't seem to be any place on this level. You've looked at these stones in the fireplace, and they seem to be pretty much have been there for 300 years. So Thursby Theodore wants to go downstairs.
Oh, yes.
Somebody wants to go with him?
Yeah, I will.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I really trust those stairs, too.
Yeah, I'm worried about my weight stepping on stairs, so I'll wait up here.
I'll slowly step on the outside of the steps, like near the banisters, so it's on a safe portion.
Can you open up the basement? There is naturally a bit of mildewy smell, it's not overpowering. It's just a little damper down there in the basement. The wood on the stairs, though, looks like it's in much better condition. It's not newer. It's just less affected by the insects. The basement doesn't have much in it as you go down, but it's odd. It's odd because these buildings are built on the rubble of other buildings. And what your impression is that the basement was at some point on ground level and it was part of an amphitheater. So when you look at one wall, there is kind of a semicircle. It's only part of a circle of little steps that go up. So it's all kind of slanted, and it looks like they might have used it for shelving. Though it wasn't actually shelves. It was just, curved, as if you were in an amphitheater. And that goes floor to ceiling. There is detritus everywhere. There is rat poop everywhere. Lots of dirt and dust, and lots and lots and lots of cobwebs. But there's no boxes. There's nothing like that. Who stayed upstairs? Okay. So Neruda and Block and Dorian and Kurz, you guys are coming down the stairs too?
Yeah, carefully.
Okay. So Kurz Neruda and Block do spot hidden rolls.
Oh yeah, come on, baby.
27 is a hard success.
Mine's a fail.
So, Gunter, you're standing next to Neruda and next to Gabriel. And Gabriel is looking kind of in the opposite direction of you. He's looking towards the stairs. And Gabriel, as you're looking, it seems to you at first as if someone is upstairs coming towards the stairs themselves, and they seem to be holding a little blue lit candle. And then you realize that you can see through them. You put your hand on Gunter's shoulder and turn him around. And then Gunter, you can see it as well. It's a man. He's dressed in a suit. He looks very disheveled, like a corpse-like look to him. Mm-hmm. And he's coming down the stairs. And as he approaches, you see a couple of things. There are places on his face where the skin is gone. You can see his jaw. He's got stab marks in his neck, and you can see occasionally like a maggot will fall out of it, drop to the floor, and as it hits the floor, it just vanishes. And now that he's at the bottom of the stairs and he's walking, you can see him looking up the stairs and around. It looks like Winkleman from the painting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, does he seem to notice us?
He doesn't, but he seems to be concerned about being followed. And you get the weird impression that although it's daytime and there's some light coming through the window, the cracks in the windows that you've made, Winkleman seems to be in the dark at night as he's coming down.
It's like a vision from the past. Let's follow him.
He
might lead us to where we need to go.
He walks past you and very cautiously, as if he is looking to make sure nobody's watching him. And he goes directly to the cellar doors. Mm-hmm. Now, neither one of you said anything. So at this point, guys, you're in the cellar. You're not finding anything, but suddenly you turn around and you notice. You first of all, you hear Neruda and Block walking across the floor, up above you, and then you notice this ghostly bluish light at the top of the stairs, and this sort of gust of cool air comes down the stairs, and you see the ghost of Winkleman moving down the stairs quietly, almost floating. And he gets to the base. He doesn't seem to recognize any of you, but the temperature in the room definitely drops as he slowly moves across the room. He looks around. He makes sure nobody's coming down the stairs. He doesn't seem to see any of you. But he goes over to this shelf area where the amphitheater-like area is. And what you see is kind of like a ghostly flagstone. The floor down here is pretty solid, at least as far as you're concerned. But where he's going, there seems to be a flagstone on the floor. And he reaches into his jacket and pulls out what looks like a little miner's pick and wedges it into the flagstone and pries the flagstone up. He sets the flagstone on one of the the little steps of the shelves and reaches in, and he pulls out what looks like a piece of leather, like a chamois, with something wrapped in it. And he unwraps it, and for a moment he holds it up, and it's a gold coin about like this. It's too dim for you to see what it looks like. But he looks at it for a moment, wraps it back up, places it in the depression underneath the flagstone, and then replaces the flagstone, and then turns back towards the stairs and vanishes.
I'm going right there where he knelt down, and I'll take out my hunting knife that I have inside my coat.
When you are looking down at the ground there, what you see is, like I say, a lot of detritus and rat shit and stuff like that. It looks like the floor in here has been not necessarily removed, but it's been replaced with, or perhaps covered in something.
Oh, yeah, it's covered. I bet you it's covered. They wouldn't replace all the stone. So I'll just start prying in some of those boards and just sort of trying to snap them out in that vicinity.
Okay. So you're working at it, and eventually you can find the edge of the flagstone that was there. It's hidden under all of the crap and stuff, but it's definitely there. And now you guys I assume you're all down there in the basement.
Oh yeah, here, hold this. Does it seem like there's any give to that flagstone with the my big hunting knife?
Do a strength roll.
Sure, come on, be nice. That's not bad. 44. That looks like a success. Let me quickly check. Oh yeah, that's easily.
Okay. Thursby, you catch the edge of the stone and you pry it up, and indeed, right underneath it, there is an impression in the dirt that was sort of hollowed out by Winkleman. You saw in your vision. And laying there is something that looks like a piece of leather, although it's badly deteriorated.
Gently flip it open with the tip of the knife.
Yeah, it like crumbles when you do that. And there is laying there this gold coin. It's about 2.5 inches across.
My God.
It's got dust and dirt on it.
Look at this.
You pick it up. When you pick it up, something happens to you. You don't stick it in your eye. You're holding it in your hand. It's almost like an electric shock runs through your arm, but you don't let it go. Your fingertips feel cold and icy, and it feels like it runs up your arm and through your body and seems to concentrate in your chest for just a moment. This all happens in a split second. So everybody seeing you just sort of notices you jump a little bit. And then Thurston, or Theodore, you're calling you Thurston. That was your brother.
Yeah.
Theodore. You feel suddenly comfortable with this in your hand. And I am going to send you a message.
It seems to me, gentlemen, that now that we have discovered the medallion with the ghost of Winkleman's assistance, we do not wish to visit their Timonas at all. We will perhaps put their manuscript in a nice package with a note of thanks and tell them that we are hurrying back to Venice post haste.
To finish their research that we were doing. So that's what we told them. We were just doing research, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a better plan. No, we have what we need.
I chatted you.
No.
Crispy, you look sort of relaxed. You're not excited by this?
I was a little startled at first, but this is it just was sort of a shock. It's worn off a bit, but this is it. This is the medallion.
So it would seem. I recommend that we give the nice lady next door quite a few lira. Tell her that we will tell our employers about the condition of the place, commend its authenticity, get a cab to someplace not far from the train station, call the hotel, and have our baggage taken to meet the express, and send the package to the Terminus from there. Yes, we want as little contact with anyone in Trieste from this point as we can manage. We need to get to Postumia.
Unless
So that's where the
we
cavern
believe the
is.
head
We
is
believe.
here.
I don't
Right.
think we believe that anymore. I think we believe that that's with the cultists.
Right.
It may have been
right.
here.
So, as you guys are going back up the stairs into the main room, and you can see more light, the medallion, it's kind of hard for you to look at, not for Theodore, but it's got some sort of a carved figure on one side that's vaguely human, but when you look at it, it's almost as if it's moving, and it hurts your brain to look at it.
It feels so nice in this house. Nice temperature.
But
so, are you guys going to leave then?
Yeah.
We make a check out we replace the wood against the windows so we took it out after checking for any watchers. I assume there are none.
There are none. No.
Also, interested-looking black shirts, none. So we give the lady next door, about 500 lira for her time, and a pretend phone number at the hotel, and return the key to her. And get a cab to the hotel closest to the train station.
Okay.
Or another public space. The train station itself will probably be watched.
Okay. So you were heading. What time would it be? It's still fairly early in the morning, yeah?
We're,
I mean,
we're
it's
outside
after
now.
you've had breakfast.
We went outside the house.
Yeah, you step outside.
Oh, that's a bit warm here. I'm just going to take my jacket off.
The war.
Theodore, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel fine. It actually seems like it's getting a little better outside.
No, it's freezing, Theodore.
That's not that bad. You get used to it after a while. I've hunted for a lot longer. I've been outside. I'm used to this, so that's probably why I just feel
No,
fine.
Theodore, this is definitely freezing. I'm originally from a very cold country, and this is freezing.
Oh, it's cool. I agree. I'm not going to strip down anymore. Just this.
Oh,
It's all good. All right, let's get going.
So
yeah, we get you out of this.
Yeah, you just be
for the
careful.
rest of you, do spot hiddens.
Yeah.
44
Ooh.
is a regular success.
35 is just a regular.
Regular.
You pass. I mean, the cold has an effect physiologically on your bodies. You get flushed cheek. You get red cheeks, and your skin gets very. Theodore looks perfectly fine.
Let's have fever.
He doesn't look flushed. He doesn't look overly.
The ghost of Winkleman was awfully cold to be around.
Theodore, my friend, tell me, how are you carrying the medallion for safety? Is it nicely wrapped up in, say, a silk handkerchief?
Oh, it's in my coat pocket right here.
Was the coat you just took off?
Oh no, not my outer coat. Just my regular jacket. I still have my regular jacket on. I'm not uncivilized. I just took my winter coat off.
Yeah. Your overcoat, yeah.
Shirt, vest, coat, and then a winter coat. I just took the winter coat off. That's all. Oh, look, there's pizza that just materialized here.
Don't eat that.
That's it. That's Italy for you.
That's ghost pizza.
If you eat the ghost's food, you can never return.
Yeah. Okay.
That's frozen pizza, and you're eating it like it's.
It's like a weird version of Persephone and the pomegranate seeds.
All right. So you guys are outside. Theodore seems to be quite comfortable. What are you going to do now?
I looked quickly around. Are those black shirts gone?
Yeah, they're gone. They've gone down the street and around the corner.
Excellent. Yeah, don't want to cause any trouble with them.
Yeah, no, we
could take the 2 p.m. train. Or really the not 2 p.m. 2 p.m. or 1:59 to be precise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to go. I think we want to get a car to near the train station, but not in the train station. We want to call the hotel and have them take our things to the train.
The Adelberg.
Yeah, the next stop, the Postumia Adelberg Cavern Express, where we can get rid of that ungodly medallion before its irritating images infect our minds.
Yeah. It's awful.
It's not that bad. It's actually pretty neat looking. Look at that.
No,
you don't see
put it
art
back.
like
Put it
that
back.
anymore.
Put
Dave.
it back. Put it back. Ugh. It's like when someone points a pinpoint at near your eye and just is uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's basically we keep, I assume that the people following us will have paid some bellboy at the hotel, and so we have to be mindful of who's watching us on the train. But it seems mostly we're more aware of them than they are of us. Or, well, it would be nice to, yeah, it would be nice to disguise our success in some way. But I think that's going to prove difficult. Oh, we have to go back to the hotel to give the journal back to the Termonas. Unless we wish to steal it from them. Or mail it given the haunting we had previously with the...
No, I was saying if we believe the Tremonas to be hostile,
yeah,
giving them a legal means of retribution.
Yeah.
We could take it on the train though and mail it from the next town. They don't expect to see us again for days. We thought the translation would take days.
That's a good point. Plus, we have the medallion.
Yeah, about that, please. We can take it to Heidelberg and ship it back to them with, again, the explanation that the translator found the project revolting. Maybe this will give us time to take the photographs that Gunther suggested.
Yeah.
But I don't think we want to go back to the hotel and get the Turkish delegation following us again before we're on the train. If we get on the train before they know, maybe we have 1 or 2 followers. If we go back to the hotel, we may have 4 or 5 followers. And I do not want to see the men with the fez hair.
Sounds like a plan. I like that plan.
Yeah. Sounds good.
We are comfortable, all of us?
Mm-hmm.
Very comfortable here.
Yes.
Okay. So you have a little bit of time to kill before the cab can take you to a different hotel near the...
Can I roll the window down by any chance?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm cold, so.
You can chew on an icicle, Thursby.
It's all good.
So you get to the new hotel near the train station. You still got a few hours, though, before the train leaves. Let's say that from the hotel's across the street from the train station. You get into the hotel. You've got to look towards the train station. About an hour and a half before the train arrives and leaves, you notice a couple of Turkish gentlemen in suits taking up positions, and you then once again you see this redhead who definitely looks like he did last time. He looks like a somewhat shorter man, not as tall as the previous one, but he's definitely wearing the face of the guy that was following you.
It's like
they suspect maybe that you're going to run.
Right.
About this time, you notice another gentleman. Looks a bit younger than some of them. Well dressed. His beard is trimmed. Looks almost like a European businessman, except that he still has the Turkish complexion. You can tell that his clothing is a little bit nicer. And he comes into the station and walks up to all three of them, and he's conversing with them. He seems to be agitated by something. You can't hear what he's saying, but he seems to be agitated. And he, points at his watch, and then he sort of storms away, or he starts to storm away. He gets down to the road and then starts turning. Your best guess is he seems to be moving towards that same area that all of the others seem to move towards, maybe a headquarters or a...
Okay.
Oh, that same direction we chased the first guy.
Yeah, you're in farther away than that, but if you would guess that they're heading.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Maybe we should follow at a distance. They've been following us. We could pay them back by following them.
Or maybe they're just where they park the car. Maybe that's where the embassy is or some such.
Yeah, consulate. Yeah, embassy.
I'm gonna get up. I've got pretty good stealth. I'm a pretty sneaky guy. I'm just gonna kind of see if I can see where they're going.
Well, probably you should not do this alone. I guess Thursby is probably also stealthy, but you have to remember to keep your clothes on. You look a little flush inside the hotel.
Yeah, this is fine. It's just
if something. I mean, I would hate if anything happened to either of you.
Well, I'm not gonna go into leave the public area. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Maybe Thursby you should leave the medallion with one of us so that we'd make sure it's with the majority.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Do you probably want the journal too, just in case?
Yeah.
So here's the journal. And here's the medallion.
Might get nicked.
Okay.
Yeah, so who wants it? I think we should tuck the medallion in the journal as insulation.
Yes, you keep it, Roland. I have enough trouble with this.
Yeah. All right. So I start following.
Okay. So you and Theodore go down the stairs and start moving down the street. You purposefully, you've got big coats on. Everybody looks kind of the same. So you managed where the people across the street don't notice you. And you're following this fellow as he's walking, and he's walking rather quickly, and he's not very happy about the cold. Who is,
Yeah.
He's definitely walking back towards that area that you lost the other guy. You see him turn the corner, and you can, scramble up quickly. Gunter, I would like you to do a dex.
Dex.
Me too?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. As you're walking and approaching the corner, you step on the equivalent of black ice on the cement, and you slide and you go down. You don't hurt yourself. Well, maybe 1 point of hurt. But Thurston is standing on exactly the same spot, and he seems to be as steady as he's not slipping or sliding at all, even though it's as slick as ice.
Yeah. Probably melting it with his heat.
I'll help Gunther up. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. And in helping you up, Theodore seems very steady, whereas your feet are sliding. Maybe your leather shoes are a little bit more slippery than his. You look around the corner, and you see this man go into a building. It's kind of a nice looking building,
Mhm.
but he looks really out of place going into it. It's not, it's a private residence, obviously.
Okay.
Did you want to go farther down the street and look?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
you get farther down
until
the
I'm
street.
yeah. Until I'm off the ice, I'm going to be hanging on to Theodore.
Right. As you
Stealth.
guys approach to spot hiddens,
Come on, baby.
Wow, this is great. I'm liking this new me. I succeeded. A nice 21.
Yeah, the ice got my attention. I'm just watching it.
Being very careful as you're going along, you don't want anybody to notice you as if you were out of place. But there are other people on the street too. And you notice that there are 2 or 3 of these Turkish people around this building, like they're using it like a home base.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to approach, or do you want to just keep a distance?
I don't think we should approach. I mean, they're going to have lots of numbers on us. So if there's any sort of nefarious intention, we'll be separated by a lot of distance.
I'll give you also that when that man approaches the building, the others sort of defer to him as if he was an important person.
Yeah.
So it's a private home, not a consulate or an embassy or anything like that.
No, but it's like, a brownstone next to a bunch of other buildings.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Gunther. I don't know if we should really try pursuing this much more.
Well, I mean, we can't get into that residence, obviously.
Yeah. It looks like there's a lot of them.
There does seem to be, like a lot of the buildings, a back alley, and
You're are you packing heat, Theodore?
Always.
All right. Well, let's at least get a closer look.
All right.
So are you going to go around back?
Yeah.
All right. You make your way around back. Go ahead.
Oh, I hand my hunting knife over to Gunther.
Okay.
Just in case, so you have, just in case things get a little out of hand.
Understood.
When you are in the back alley, there's nobody. You're kind of out of observation, unless somebody was in another building and looking out the back window at just the right time. They might notice you back there. I'm going to call it a spot hidden. Do a spot hidden for me.
Whoa! 007! I'm on fire today.
96. Man,
that's an extreme.
So I guess possibly because Theodore is not distracted by the cold at all.
Yeah.
Theodore, you notice a smell, and I mean, it smells an awful lot like rotting meat.
Oh, yeah.
There are a number of large trash cans behind the building, and it's definitely coming from one of those, or maybe both of them. It's if you get near them, it's quite overpowering.
Now, I'm being a hunter, I probably smelled that a lot before. Do I get either a sense of like how old this rotting corpse sort of smells like, or
well, it would. There's a couple of things you'll glean from your knowledge there. One is, if somebody threw out a piece of meat into their garbage can, it's the dead of winter and it's freezing cold. It shouldn't smell at all.
Yeah.
But if the meat were rotting inside the building and then it was thrown out, then it would definitely smell. You also probably know from your hunting that meat smells different, and different animals smell differently.
A little bit.
This smells more like morgue smell than it smells like grocer smell.
I explained all of this immediately to Gunther. And
what kind of smell? Sorry, morgue.
Like a morgue, like dead.
Oh, morgue.
Be a person.
From Theodore's experience of hunting the world's most dangerous game.
Yeah, it's like
it's a dangerous world out there.
Well, Theodore, let's
Alliance
get out like
wins.
I get out a handkerchief and kind of like put it over my nose.
Yeah, we should maybe take a look. Take a look in those garbage bins real quickly. We'll keep a low profile, but I'm wondering if we're going to find the actual red-haired man leftovers there.
Well,
I think so. Yep.
Sneaky.
Theodore. Theodore has been rolling really well tonight, so he's kind of rewarded by what he's prepared himself for. There are body parts in there, and as you look down, you realize that one of them has had all of the skin on its face and head removed.
Oh, jeez.
But you also look down, and there's more than one body in here. And at this point, the other body is Grosinger.
Oh, no.
No. He was such a good dude.
Poor man. This is terrible. Yeah, this is.
You can both do sanity rolls.
These motherfuckers.
Ooh, 14. I'm loving it. That's an extreme success.
97. My numbers keep getting higher.
Gunter, you can roll 1d4, and Theodore, you can just take one sanity point.
Yeah, my old buddy.
4.
You can hear people talking inside the building, and they're definitely speaking in a foreign language, foreign accent. You're guessing Turkish, but you don't really know what Turkish sounds like.
Yeah.
This just isn't the Turkish. These are the cult members. This is nefarious. They're on a greater level than even the police would know.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. You don't happen to have a camera, do you, by any chance? You were good with.
You probably packed it, or
packed. You don't have
because it's not like rather large.
All right. Okay. Yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible. All right. Yeah, let's sneak out of here.
All right. You manage to get back to your hotel without being seen. Maybe you take a slight detour to get there. So you guys all meet back at the hotel. And I assume you're going to.
Yeah. Oh my God. They're skinning people.
Yeah, I think that's the cult. That's right there in that house. Right here. Right here. Just like they're so brazen. There must be so many of them in this city.
I mean, they're throwing it in the trash. I assume they have trash service here. I mean, and that would find it. I mean,
they must be very well established here. Yeah, we have to tread very carefully. Oh, Dorian,
I think we need to get the hell out of here, which is what we're planning on doing. But
Dorian,
how can you eat at this time, Thursday?
It's just the last. It's the last of the pizza. It was really good. I just found it there on the street. Really good.
Dorian, that's a different question for another time. Yes, Fred.
Do you still have the journal and the coin?
I get. Curse has it. I make sure Curse had it.
Oh, you've got it. It's good and safe.
Curse has got it. Curse has got it.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. So I'll just let me just take a look at that coin real quickly. There's something vital to it. I think I might have to. All right, here, just real briefly. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I thought. If you look closely, right there.
No, Nev, Just what do you see?
I think I have a connection to this, similar to you having a connection with the torso, and you, Dorian, have the connection with the other part. I
But
think without this being near me, I think it's going to affect me in a bad way. Unless I start acting bizarre or strange, I would like to keep this on me.
Unfortunately, you were acting bizarre and strange from the moment you picked that damnable object up.
How so? What are you talking about? Oh, that I'm not as affected by the cold temperature as you?
Well, it's not just affected, but it's like it's too hot for you, even outside in this bitter cold.
Oh no, it's not hot. It's just I don't need as much bundling up. I'm used to it. I can put the jacket back on if you'd like, if it's offending you by me having my heavy coat on.
We wouldn't say offended, but it is concerning. Do you think that image on it is of the simulacrum?
I'm not certain, but I feel that it needs to be kept close to me. Otherwise, until we get to the place we need to get it to, I think
if it is of the simulacrum, I think Plato is thoroughly rolling over in his grave as we have an image of an image of an image.
I think maybe Thursby, though, you should consider the analogy of the opium smoke. Yes, anyone can have a little opium smoke, and it makes them more comfortable. If you continually experience the opium smoke, it becomes necessary for your well-being. If
Agreed.
it has made you very comfortable, maybe we should end it there. We return the medallion to an inert object like this very cold and slightly invisible notebook, where it did not bother me, and then you don't get acclimatized to it, because you don't want to be of two minds when we reach the caverns and you have to give it up forever.
I see what you're saying. If I act any more bizarre, definitely we'll return it. You let me know if I do. But if I keep even keel, I'd like to keep it on me.
Roland, did you touch the coin at all?
I made a point not to, because I was concerned about the Thursby effect.
Thursby.
Mm-hmm.
It seems people take a very murderous interest in this coin.
Yeah. I also like the idea, the notebook seems like because it has this chill about it, it might have a particularly effective insulating effect on whatever emanates from this. You also know Thursby about the Curies, yes, and their interesting study of elements that emit invisible rays.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So invisible rays can be very dangerous to those who are overexposed to them.
Well, chances are we won't have this much longer once we get to the Adelberg cave system.
Yeah.
So we'll end it on this note. If anybody is keeping an eye on the people outside across the street, there's another interesting moment that occurs. You notice a man walking down the street. He's dressed in a heavy coat, although his coat's more of a cream colored than black. He's smoking a cigarette. He's got black hair. He definitely looks Italian. He has the Italian features and so forth. And you see him nonchalantly walking up to the train station. And he looks around. Let's say he doesn't look particularly concerned about anything. But you see him take up a position where he can observe as well. And as you look, one of the Turkish men repositions himself behind that man and slowly moves forward behind him. And you see him check to see if the coast is clear. And then he grabs the man around the neck, pulls him back, and you see him struggle for a moment, and a red suddenly appear on his chest as he's dragged off the platform on the other side. And that's where we will leave it for tonight. Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, David Gasaway, Stuart Lively, Keith Craig, and Josh Harwood, with yours truly as the Keeper of the Secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.